The earliest recorded metal employed by humans appears to be gold, which can be found freer, native. Small amounts of natural gold have been found in Spanish caves used during the late Paleolithic period, c. 40,000 BC. Gold artifacts made their first appearance at the very beginning of the pre-dynastic period in Egypt, at the end of the 5th millennium BC and the start of the 4th, and smelting was developed during the course of the 4th millennium. Gold artifacts appear in the archaeology of Lower Mesopotamia during the early 4th millennium. Gold artifacts in the Balkans appear from the 4th millennium BC, such as those found in the Varna necropolis near Lake Varna in Bulgaria, thought by one source, Lanise 2009, to be the earliest, well-dated, find of gold artifacts. As of 1990, gold artifacts found at the Wadi Kana cave cemetery of the 4th millennium BC in West Bank were the earliest from the Levant. Gold artifacts such as the golden hats and the Nebra disc appeared in Central Europe from the 2nd millennium BC Bronze Age. The oldest known map of a gold mine was drawn in the 19th dynasty of ancient Egypt 1320–1200 BC, whereas the first written reference to gold was recorded in the 12th dynasty around 1900 BC. Egyptian hieroglyphs from as early as 2600 BC describe gold, which King Tushratta of the Mitanni claimed was more plentiful than dirt in Egypt. Egypt and especially Nubia had the resources to make them major gold-producing areas for much of history. One of the earliest known maps, known as the Turin Papyrus map, shows the plan of a gold mine in Nubia together with indications of the local geology. The primitive working methods are described by both Strabo and Diodorus Siculus, and included fire setting. Large mines were also present across the Red Sea in what is now Saudi Arabia. Gold is mentioned in the Amarna letters numbered 19 and 26 from around the 14th century BC. Gold is mentioned frequently in the Old Testament, starting with Genesis 2:11, at Havilah, the story of the golden calf, and many parts of the temple including the menorah and the golden altar. In the New Testament, it is included with the gifts of the Magi in the first chapters of Matthew. The book of Revelation 21:21 describes the city of New Jerusalem as having streets, made of pure gold, clear as crystal. Exploitation of gold in the southeast corner of the Black Sea is said to date from the time of Midas, and this gold was important in the establishment of what is probably the world's earliest coinage in Lydia around 610 BC. 83. The legend of the Golden Fleece dating from 8th century BCE may refer to the use of fleeces to trap gold dust from placer deposits in the ancient world. From the 6th or 5th century BC, the Chu state circulated the ying yuan, one kind of square gold coin. In Roman metallurgy, new methods for extracting gold on a large scale were developed by introducing hydraulic mining methods, especially in Hispania from 25 BC onwards and in Dacia from 106 AD onwards. One of their largest mines was at Las Medulas in Leon, where 7 long aqueducts enabled them to sluice most of a large alluvial deposit. The mines at Roja Montana in Transylvania were also very large, and until very recently, still mined by opencast methods. They also exploited smaller deposits in Britain, such as placer and hard rock deposits at Dolaucothi. The various methods they used are well described by Pliny the Elder in his Encyclopaedia Naturalis Historia written towards the end of the 1st century AD. During Mansa Musa's ruler of the Mali Empire from 1312 to 1337, Hajj to Mecca in 1324, he passed through Cairo in July 1324, and was reportedly accompanied by a camel train that included thousands of people and nearly 100 camels, where he gave away so much gold that it depressed the price in Egypt for over a decade, causing high inflation. The European exploration of the Americas was fueled in no small part by reports of the gold ornaments displayed in great profusion by Native American peoples, especially in Mesoamerica, Peru, Ecuador and Colombia. The Aztecs regarded gold as the product of the gods, calling it literally, God excrement, Teocutlatl in Nahuatl, and after Moctezuma II was killed, most of this gold was shipped to Spain. However, for the indigenous peoples of North America, gold was considered useless and they saw much greater value in other minerals which were directly related to their utility, such as obsidian, flint, and slate. 88. El Dorado is applied to a legendary story in which precious stones were found in fabulous abundance along with gold coins. The concept of El Dorado underwent several transformations, and eventually accounts of the previous myth were also combined with those of a legendary lost city. El Dorado was the term used by the Spanish Empire to describe a mythical tribal chief, Zipa, of the Mixca native people in Colombia, who, as an initiation rite, covered himself with gold dust and submerged in Lake Guatavita. The legends surrounding El Dorado changed over time, as it went from being a man, to a city, to a kingdom, and then finally to an empire. Gold played a role in Western culture, as a cause for desire and of corruption, as told in children's fables such as Rumpelstiltskin, where Rumpelstiltskin turns hay into gold for the peasant's daughter in return for her child when she becomes a princess, and the stealing of the hen that lays golden eggs in Jack and the Beanstalk. The top prize at the Olympic Games and many other sports competitions is the gold medal. 75% of the presently accounted for gold has been extracted since 1910. It has been estimated that the currently known amount of gold internationally would form a single cube 20 meters, 66 feet, on a side, equivalent to 8,000 cubic meters or 280,000 cubic feet. One main goal of the alchemists was to produce gold from other substances, such as lead, presumably by the interaction with a mythical substance called the Philosopher's Stone. Although they never succeeded in this attempt, the alchemists did promote an interest in systematically finding out what can be done with substances, and this laid the foundation for today's chemistry. Their symbol for gold was the circle with a point at its center, which was also the astrological symbol and the ancient Chinese character for the sun. The dome of the rock is covered with an ultra-thin golden glacier. The Sikh Golden Temple, the Harmandir Sahib, is a building covered with gold. Similarly, the Wat Phra Q Emerald Buddhist Temple Wat in Thailand has ornamental gold-leafed statues and roofs. Some European king and queen's crowns were made of gold, and gold was used for the bridal crown since antiquity. An ancient Talmudic text circa 100 AD describes Rachel, wife of Rabbi Akiva, receiving a Jerusalem of gold diadem. A Greek burial crown made of gold was found in a grave circa 370 BC. Gold is resistant to most acids, though it does dissolve in aqua regia, a mixture of nitric acid and hydrochloric acid, which forms a soluble tetrachloroaurate anion. Gold is insoluble in nitric acid, which dissolves silver and base metals, a property that has long been used to refine gold and to confirm the presence of gold in metallic objects, giving rise to the term acid test. Gold also dissolves in alkaline solutions of cyanide, which are used in mining and electroplating. Gold dissolves in mercury, forming amalgam alloys, but this is not a chemical reaction. A relatively rare element, gold is a precious metal that has been used for coinage, jewelry, and other arts throughout recorded history. In the past, a gold standard was often implemented as a monetary policy, but gold coins ceased to be minted as a circulating currency in the 1930s, and the world gold standard was abandoned for a fiat currency system after 1971. A total of 197,576 tons of gold exists above ground, as of 2019. This is equal to a cube with each side measuring roughly 21.7 meters. The world consumption of new gold produced is about 50% in jewelry, 40% in investments, and 10% in industry. 9. Gold's high malleability, ductility, resistance to corrosion and most other chemical reactions, and conductivity of electricity have led to its continued use in corrosion-resistant electrical connectors in all types of computerized devices, its chief industrial use. Gold is also used in infrared shielding, colored glass production, gold leafing, and tooth restoration. Certain gold salts are still used as anti-inflammatories in medicine. As of 2017, the world's largest gold producer by far was China with 440 tons per year.